2, the Warrington Wolves 6. Oh, dearie me. Of course, Daryl Powell had to go after that result. A real shocker for the Warrington Wolves in this one. It was so bad. It was unbelievable. I mean, first 8 rounds of Super League, this team were in complete tandem. In this one, they were all over the place. Defensively, it was poor. You know, second and first marker missing so many times. People turning the back to the play the ball. Liam Hood had an absolute field day against the Warrington Wolves. That's right, Liam Hood, outstanding in this game. A try and assist, some really good running from dummy half. About 12 times he took on the Warrington line. He and Luke Gale ran at that Warrington line, putting pressures, drafting players in so that they could ping it out to the edges. Max Jowett in exceptional form. Max Jowett fully deserving of his try, the last try of the game. Max Jowett, 4 brilliant assists in this one. His work on the edges, both sides, left and right, was a thing of absolute beauty. Luke Gale, don't be deceived by Luke Gale's statistics. I mean, they don't look that great on paper. No tries, no assists, only 13 tackles. It's 2 carries for 21 meters. But let me tell you now, the ball went through his hands more often than not when the Trinity scored. No doubt about that. No doubt about that whatsoever. Gale was superb in this one. Without doubt, Hood, Gale, Jowett, and of course, Innes Senior in for this game from Huddersfield Giants. He's only scored 2 before this game and went in for 4 against Warrington Wolves. It doesn't get much worse than that, does it? It was a real shower of a performance, this one from Warrington. Like I say, the first 5 minutes, they looked all right. They were camped down at the Wakefield end, but then on the first attempt, Wakefield going for the first try, and then it was a tsunami after that. Warrington just simply had no reply. The only real Warrington's players that can come off with personal pride in terms of they did their job would be Paul Vaughan. I thought Vaughan had yet again another solid knock for the Warrington Wolves. You really must feel for him. He's been pretty consistent all season. Another 109 metres from Vaughan in this one, 40 tackles. He was on the field for well over an hour in this one, was Paul Vaughan. A really good effort from him. Matt Duffy, don't understand why Duffy keeps coming in for criticism from sides of the journalists and other people. Duffy for me this year, especially under the high ball, pretty solid. Running out of backfield, really good. He had a fine game. I thought Danny Walker, when he came on, he tried. And, second half, George Williams was the George Williams of 2022, trying to do it all himself because, quite frankly, he just couldn't see any other way. There was too many players off the ball. Obviously, a few players in the likes of Ashton Fewlis, Nicholson coming back from injury. But if ever there was a disconnect between coach and players, this one absolutely highlighted it. It's been on the cards for many times. Met Daryl Powell on many occasions. Personally, I think he's a smashing fella. Really liked him as a man. But yeah, the writing's on the wall. It's all about getting the results. 8 from 8 becomes 1 win in 9. I mean, that's just not good enough, is it, by any standards, especially when you've assembled a squad like this, and a squad that Daryl himself assembled. And then in the press conference after, he's talking about players in the pack that he would drop if he could. Well, they can only be players that he have bought, because there's no way he means Vaughan by that. I think Clark and Walker have been steady away. Nicholson's only just come back from injury. Surely it can't be Ben Curry. He's just signed an extension to his contract. And of course, Joe Philbin was starting in this one. So he can only point to, for me, Sam Cassiano and Gil Dudson. And these were 2 players that he brought in. So when you start talking like that after the game, questioning commitment, questioning players, and questioning the club, I think, the writing was on the wall. It didn't surprise me when 4 hours after kickoff, it was announced that Daryl Powell was out at the Warrington Wolves. And, weirder things have happened now. Warrington, player power, all of that kind of thing. Can they now turn this around? Can they actually now start to get back to some sort of form and look dangerous going into the playoffs? Can they hang on to them playoff positions? Who knows? But as for Wakefield Trinity, what a story. Everybody had wrote them off after that long wait for a first win. But now, of course, 4 wins in 6. I mean, that's top 6 form at the moment. That's how good it actually is. And Castleford are in free fall. Do not be surprised. Do not be surprised if Wakefield Trinity go to Hull FC this weekend and win. Don't be surprised about that. And then, of course, it's the big one against the Castleford Tigers at home. That could be huge. And, of course, if they beat Hull before they actually go into that game, they could be ahead of Castleford going into that game. And by the end of that game, Castleford could be 4 points adrift of Wakefield Trinity. It's unbelievable to think, isn't it? But that's what could happen. Such is this topsy-turvy nature of the 2023 Super League. I, for one, am absolutely loving every single minute. There's drama everywhere in this competition. Who knows what round 21 he's going to bring? Who knows on that? But like we say, great opportunity here now for Trinity. Hull away, then Castleford at home, then Salford away. Salford, we know at this moment in time, they also not in the best of form. As for Warrington, massive challenge for them now with Gary Chambers and Richard Marshall, of course, taking over in temporary charge at Warrington for the visit of the league leaders, the Catalan Dragons, this Friday night. Then they go away to the Leeds Rhinos before going to the MKM themselves to play Hull FC. So those are the next three games for both sides. It's fascinating who's going to be the new manager at the Warrington Wolves. And there is very strong rumours, you heard it here, I think it's pretty much out there anyway, there could be a familiar face about to be announced in returning from now until the end of the season, which will, of course, give Warrington fans a little bit of hope as we get into the latter ends of this 2023 season. That's been In the Sheds for round number 20. Do comment, like, subscribe, tell your friends about us, and we'll see you in round 21. Bye for now.